Hi guys, welcome back. In today's video, we are going to be discussing about Bella Casa Fashion and Retail. Okay, so let us understand, what this company's progression has been like in terms of result over this year. Okay, so if you look at this company, what does Bella Casa Fashion and Retail do in a quick way? They are an apparel company, especially in apparel. If you talk about it, they are a B2B, matlab manufacturer hai. Okay, they are a B2B apparel company. Okay, so they manufacture clothes for the likes of Trend, V-Mart, V2 Retail, and all of these different brands that are there. Now 70% of their income comes from this part of the business, that is you are a brand, yeah, you are a brand which manufactures for other brands. The other 20 to 30% of the revenue that is there, it comes from their own brand. B2C hai, it comes from their own brand. But there is a difference over here. Whenever they're doing manufacturing for other companies, they're focused on this menswear, women's wear, kids wear, versus let's say when they're doing their khud ka brand B2C, from which 20 to 30% of the income comes. 20 to 30% of the income comes, it is coming from their khud ka brand, which makes this home furnishing items such as bed sheet, pillow covers, etc. Okay, so this is the business model. Now if you want to understand the business model in depth, everything I've covered it earlier itself. Since this is a result update video, I'm not going in depth over there. I'm going to link that first video that I've done on Bella Casa Fashion and Retail below, and you can just quickly watch it, and you get a glimpse of in detail of what the business is, what has been the turning point of the business, and so forth and so on. Okay, now let's come to the Q3FY25 ka numbers. If you look at the Q3FY25 numbers, right, it has been, you will see, like, the sales that is there on a Q3 versus Q3, it grew by 40%. Similarly, the PAT also grew by 40%. Okay, but if you look at the 9-month data, 9-month on 9-month, if you see this year versus last year, the sales grew by almost 55, and the PAT that is there grew around 60 to 65%. I think 61% say the PAT grew. Okay, now the first thing first, when you look at the year on year data, you see that they like 40% say grow hua, right? Because if you look at Q1 versus Q1, Q2 versus Q2, it was roughly between 55 to 60, right? Like from the last Q4, Q1, Q2, it has been in that range. And this time in Q3, you see it is a 40% ka growth, right? And all of a sudden, when you see this kind of numbers, your mind might go and think like, Arey, iska to pace of growth ghat gaya, right? So it must be, there must be something wrong over here. But that is not the case, because there is a seasonality aspect involved with this business. Now, what did I tell? Bella Casa Fashion and Retail is a B2B business, right? Now think about this. When you have the B2C companies like Style Bazaar, V2 Retail, V-Mart and all, for them, which quarter is the best? Third quarter, Q3 is the best, right? Because Q3 may they get so much sales, like the majority of sales of the full year, most of the sale happens in Q3. That is the best quarter, right? For all of the companies in this apparel fashion industry that is there, that is catering in in the B2C range. Okay, that is it. Now agar Q3, let's say for example आपका October में you have Dasara, Diwali or whatsoever, for all of these things, whatever the occasion these companies would need dresses for, that has to be manufactured and gotten into production a month or 2 months before. So what happens for Bella Casa Fashion and Retail or any other B2B जो manufacturer है, इनके लिए Q2 best month होता है, because Q3 से पहले इनको production करके उनको बेचना पड़ता है, right? So as a result for them, Q2 is the best. So Q3 is a bit lean quarter, just like how for a B2C company, Q4 is lean. Q3 is better, Q4 is not as great as Q3, right? Similarly, for a B2B company, Q2 is better and Q3 is not as great. Okay, so it is a pure seasonality aspect over here that you can see. That is why. But will not deny the fact that, like, when you look at on a year-on-year basis, you see the operating leverage तो उतना कुछ है ही नहीं ना. यहाँ पे sales भी grew by 40%, PAT also grew by 40% only. Like nothing much has happened over here. This in spite, because if you look at their balance sheet, they've tried to get rid of the debt as much as possible. The debt has come down by a significant level. In fact, the debt last December was around 64 crore and right now it is 9 crore. So अगर debt नहीं है, अगर आपका debt कम होता है, then the interest cost also will be less. So as a result, आपका finance cost जो है will become less. If finance cost is a part of expenses, right? Revenue minus expenses is your PAT. So if the expenses is coming down, the PAT also should go up as a result. So little bit over here, I can tell I'm a bit disappointed in terms of operating leverage यहाँ पे नहीं मिला. That is one thing I'm a bit disappointed on a Q3 versus Q3 basis. ठीक है. Now coming to their other things such as Capex and volume growth. These people haven't given a year-on-year data Q3 versus Q3. They've only given 9 months ka data, and according to 9 months, if you see, the volume growth that is there has grown by a whooping 93%. So overall good. Okay. Now coming to the Capex over here, right? The fourth point, Capex pay. When these people started growing over here, and there was this they started coming up with plans and everything. उनका कहना था, already they had 3 plants in Jaipur and this was running at max capacity, at 90% capacity utilization. And for the further demand, they didn't have the space to cater for it. So they told कि is brownfield mein hai, we will, in this Jaipur only, we will do a brownfield expansion in, alongside one of our plants only. We will do the brownfield, and because of this, we will be able to double the number of pieces that we'll be able to make, right? We will literally double our capacity because of this brownfield ka expansion that they are doing, okay? And as of now, I think this data was given in Q4 or Q1, as much as I remember, right? I believe in Q1 of last year, Q1 of this year it was given. And as of Q3, if you look at this Capex ka, how the projection has been going on, or how the progress has been going on, company bol raha hai ki the 80% of this Capex has already been done. It is ready for commission, up for that. But the other 20% that is there, it will be fully fledged. The plant will be fully fledged by Q1 of FY26. That is the in 2 more quarters it will be completely done. So the Capex is also going on track, and unka कहना भी ये है कि this brownfield के वजह से they can literally double, almost double the capacity right now. Now, because earlier it was 1 crore, right? 1 crore pieces they were able to do annually, and because of this brownfield Capex they were going to do, they were able to double from 1 crore to 2 crore. Now, since 80% is done, 80% of the Capex is done and it is ready for commencement, with this capacity they can do around 1.8 crore pieces annually. That is what they are targeting. Okay? So overall, good update I can tell. Only a little bit of disappointment is the fact that operating leverage is not visible over here. And another thing over here, other than this Capex that they're doing, right, which will be completely done by Q1 of FY26, the management has told, let's say when this brownfield also reaches, let's say 80% ka capacity utilization, and if we see that the demand is there, we will again double our capacity even from here also, right? That is something that we are willing to do. So overall, good update, overall a good update. The only thing over here, just wrapping it off in terms of valuation, I think by this year they will be wrapping up with around probably 14 to 15 crores in PAT. If let's say Q4 is good, if the trend is similar to last Q4, if that is the case, then they'll be wrapping it up probably within 14 to 15 crore, and that comes up to like 45 ka P, right? And although 45 ka P, so over here it is not obviously as it is not as kya bolte cheap as it used to be earlier, at least in the last Q4 when it presented itself as an opportunity. That is definitely there. But over here, right, another also doubt that comes is ki we do not know how the EPS ka growth would be in the coming year, right? That is also like a big question mark over here. This is a kind of company, since you're not doing any con call, right, you will have to track it from quarter on quarter and see, because let's say going forward, the guidance becomes very bullish. Let's say they put up another capacity and they give another much better guidance telling we put another capacity, iske wajah se aur bhi double hoga, then this PE might also look cheaper right now standing from today's view. But since there is a complete ambiguity as to like what would happen even in the next quarter, we do not know. I would say over here then, and also yahan pe this time in this quarter the EPS didn't grow that much, it becomes a little hard to see that forecast over there. And also you understand that whenever you want a stock to be a multi-bagger, there are two aspects of it. One, you have to get a PE ka re-rating, and the other one is the EPS ka growth. PE ka re-rating comes when you grow faster than compared to, not just when you grow faster, like you do your guidance, whatever you've told, but you also have to grow faster than your peers, which Bella Casa is doing, right? When you compare it to Capex, it is a neck-to-neck competition only. So there is no problem over there. The problem becomes over here is the other leg, when you want a stock to be multi-bagger, is the EPS ka growth. And that, since there is no visibility of that EPS ka growth, like what will happen, how it will happen, it is very difficult to put a finger over here and tell ki as of today standing right now, is it really expensive when you look forward, let's say a year or a 2-year forward PE, or is it going to be really cheap? But as now, I think considering 14 or 15 crore ka PAT they will be doing this year, with the current market cap which is around 625, I think 630 crore ka market cap that is there, the 1-year forward PE, which is just for hardly 3 more months for this year to end, right? Not 3, technically 1, but you get the point, right? 1 more quarter. that comes up to be 47 to 50, right? And again, I would let you to infer whether it is cheap or expensive, like I told you, because EPS ka forecast nahi hai, and also the other factors, like we do not know if this growth is going to sustain, or if this growth will be even much more further, it will be increased or not. Since that, we can't value, I wouldn't feel comfortable telling if it is cheap, expensive, or all of those things, because for me valuation is nothing but an outcome of growth. And when I do not see that, how the growth would pan out, I do not want to, like, put my finger on it and tell. I believe if you guys have gotten the, gotten the investment checklist workshop, you would have known, how we connected with valuation and growth, right? How valuation is nothing but an outcome of growth, and how, a company gets rewarded a higher and higher valuation as it keeps growing and growing and growing, right? And this, you can, I believe you can connect to this concept that I just told you, with that checklist ka thing. And if you guys haven't bought that checklist ka workshop, get it right now. It's already a Sunday. Use your rest of the Sunday, to learn. And so when tomorrow, when, opportunity like Bella Casa comes in front of you, you know exactly, like, tick tick tick, these are the things I need to look for, and these are the things I need to invest based on things, right? I can assure you 100% you will not regret buying that. It's literally the best workshop that is out there. I'm going to put the link in the description box below for the purchase of the workshop. Okay, so that's it for Bella Casa Fashion and Retail. I will do in my next video, I have 4 companies: PGL, Garvare, Ace and Tina. I'm just going to do either of the two, any 2 out of 4 in that video. Anyways, that's that. Hope you guys have a great Sunday. Bye.